Yo, welcome back to another Beaumont Weekly. We're here with a BBC shooting today. You might not see that in this episode, but you will see it in next week's episode. In this episode, we're going to be talking a lot about construction and how internally we're trying to change our systems as a business. A bit of a deep dive, open transparency there. We're going to be looking at a new 6-bed HMO that we finished and all the other fun stuff that we do here at Beaumont and Partners. Subscribe.
Get off me.
I'm going to put one of these on your fucking mouth.
So we've done all these extra details nowadays, and we've got lovely up and down lights, the panel behind the bed, pictures up as well to bring a bit of light in, acoustic panel as well, just to frame the TV a little bit nicer rather than looking isolated on the wall, vertical rads, little shelving units, these nice bigger units for the wall cabinets in the bathrooms, little pictures as well. Just very clean and tidy, just nice. And then the big change is having the built-ins. So we build these from scratch and you just get way more storage out of them, way more. You get the extra shelves and the hanging space and an extra shelf above. So these are actually not the spec that we're doing going forwards. The client on this one wanted to change this last minute, so we had to just put in what we could. We've actually got like a different kind of unit that's gonna go to the new ones, but just way better than the standalone wardrobes. And then we've knocked out an extra extension out here to make for not only a communal area here, but just a much nicer, much bigger kitchen area, and then a proper lounge area as well. Man, this looks sweet, this. It does, doesn't it? It looks so sweet. All these little bits as well, bits and bobs. Like, this is quality accommodation. Like, it's just, this is great, like, if you were living here. Right near the bus link as well. The shop's right on the high street just here. You see what we had to do with this. Knocking out the extension here to raise this floor as well.
It's plush, mate. Fucking, this is a good job, this. Not care that we have made no money now.
Huh? That works perfect.
It's fucking good job, this. It is a good job, this, Jeff. I'll give you that, son. Do a half decent job in the end. Eventually.
But I've ordered a new, see that pane of glass there? That's just filled in the last 2 weeks.
No.
I've ordered a new one. It's coming tomorrow.
I love the job. Looks plush, man. I'll do a decent job in the end.
Well, the whole roof?
Oh, I'll put a new roof on it.
Oh, man,
This
didn't
little
know.
offshot, we kept the little offshot, but the rest's all new. They look just as every bit as good as the slate. You don't have to nail them, and they're so quick.
But you see, if you look up the line in the middle, you can see where the fuck. I can't help myself, honestly.
Funny enough, it's been pissing down and you get nothing.
We've fettled anything that'll land on this slab. We've put falling towards the back alley. Anything this side, about a third of a cube in here, and we'll force it all into the gully. So it's getting away from the building.
Little drain there, all this into the street. But you can see it on the brick course, can't you? You can see how it drops.
See how we've used slabs there, we'll pin the concrete.
Jeff was just explaining what we've done here. This is essentially just a concrete infill that's then butting up right against the DPC. So it's actually, they've just put in these grooves to make it match the concrete tiles, but that's actually just a solid concrete channel that's then right up with a solid seal against the brickwork, which is just going to save on any water ingress going in that way, and also saves a bit of hassle. But you would never notice just at a first glance. It's actually much better for water. We're constantly, on all of these properties and all retrofits ever, properties in general, you're fighting water all the time. And fire, but fire is much rarer. It's rare to actually have fires in buildings, but water damage all the time. You're always fighting water. So any ways we can find to try and mitigate water damage is a high priority.
What it was, because it was a fucking shithole, this. It does go like.
Yeah, it's well good, this. Oh, we've got this in as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Putting that way around.
Oh, I think this is good. Like, considering what, this was the stairs here, wasn't there? And then the little bathroom in there.
Yeah.
We've squeezed that in as well, the acoustic panel.
So it has all gone in. I'm going to get Hannah out for another fucking couple of hours. And what they did was they wanted me to paint the sides of the units.
Paint the sides?
Yes, and I'm not painting them because they're white and they go over the wall.
Yeah. That's weird.
That's where we're going to bang end panels on it. Fucking hell.
Doesn't need it.
You're going to break your bed, mate.
This is a stress test for the tenants.
That's a good thing.
Oh,
You wouldn't jump on him, go on.
I'm not talking about your buddy, it's just a big man.
the biggest of men.
The smallest of penis.
Oh, it's very disproportionate. It's sickening, honestly.
It looks like one of them beds, you know where you blew it up.
It's a good job I've got small hands because it looks normal in my hand.
Managed to get a bathroom in here as well.
Where's my rock?
Your rock.
Off your trip.
No, fucking hell. Yeah, there's a canny little step there. You don't really notice that, do you?
No.
But this is banging though that we've got this. What is this then? This can't be 2.4. What's this?
2.4.
This is 2.4, is it?
4.
Fucking hell, it squeezes in perfect, doesn't it?
2.4's it's about right.
Yeah.
We should do 2.4 by 800, but they are tight.
It's good though, this. This was,
Yeah.
This could have been an afterthought, this area, but instead...
It shows us what we can do with these daft shit off shots, doesn't it? Like, narrowing the room, bed right at the end.
Yeah, it'd be good to get I'll get the dims off it to remember what it was.
Yeah, because then it's just a copy and paste of a template then, isn't it?
Because when it was what it was before, you never thought you could get this out of it.
It's only because we sank it that way, because that was the original.
Yeah, that was the off shot, wasn't it?
Well, this was the off shot, this section.
Yeah, it's decent, mate.
You've done a good job here, son. I'm proud of you.
So in the UK, there's been big changes to building control and building regulations as part of the Building Safety Act. So the Building Safety Act has come in as of April 1st this year, 2024, and they've made a lot of fucking changes, a lot of changes. And you really need to go do your studying on this. If you're in the developments, if you're in construction, you have to understand the implications of these changes. So I've got some notes on my phone of key things that you may want to be aware of that you might not already be aware of. And if you are instructing contractors, development projects, and you don't know this stuff, you are vulnerable and you are now criminally liable personally, rather than it just being a corporate matter. This is now going through from obviously if you're holding an asset in SPV and you're shareholders and directors or managers of that SPV, which you will be, if you are a developer, then now you can also be held criminally liable and face prosecution if you're not following the Building Safety Act. So we of course do all of this on behalf of our clients and we take on all that design responsibility for our contracts. But if you are not aware of these things and you're instructing contractors, particularly small team contractors, father and son teams, they're probably not aware of the new changes that have happened here to Building Safety Act, and you can now be criminally liable if the I's are not dotted and the T's are not crossed. It's going to kill a lot of small contractors because they're just not going to be prepared to deal with the level of due diligence you now have to do. And that's why QB-roll, we had Richard in, our architect, who we're now pulling closer and closer into our operations to make sure they help us on a contracts administration sort of side of things, as well as a contracts manager role, to work with us as principal designer on all of our schemes across the board. So this Building Safety Act affects everything and anything associated with a building control application. Even if you're building a little tiny extension at the back of your house, if it needs a building control application, it also now needs a principal designer, which is generally an architect. And yes, even if it's a 4-bed HMO, 5-bed HMO, 6-bed HMO, and you can consider it a domestic dwelling in that you're just essentially adding en suites, so you need drainage sign-off and also your fire compartmentation. Although that is on the domestic side of things, you now need this principal designer legally. And if you don't have all of that crossed off and anything ever happens to that property, you as the owner can be criminally liable. This is a big change because what they've tried to do is rope in the developers and the owners into the Building Safety Act so that now they have to hold their contractors to account. And if you're a contractor or you're like us, you have to make your clients very aware of the design side and the contractual side and things like that. And that's exactly what we do. We make sure that the contract's clear as day, that they're aware of the processes, et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot of stuff to go through, so I don't want to make this too long. But let's look at the key things. So property owners must manage safety risks, demonstrate effective safety measures and register their buildings. They must also report incidents of the Building Safety Act. So for property owners, they now must demonstrate effective safety measures via the contractor. So they must make sure that we are doing things safely. And obviously we do that on behalf of our clients, which is why they have a sourcing project management agreement with us. And we make sure our construction company is following the Building Safety Act with RAMs and on-site health and safety, in and out signing logs, things like that. Then the designers. So the designers must discuss their duties with the client and clearly detail them in letters of appointment. So we now also have to do that, hence bringing in our architect as principal designer so that we are appointing the necessary designers at the right stages and doing it through the right due process, which is what you have to do now under the Building Safety Act. And then there's contractors. So contractors must meet competency requirements. Where competency is quite a general sort of term, and if you read into it, it can actually be quite difficult to follow, particularly if you're a small contractor, if you're a father and son team. So anyone out there who's using cheaper, smaller contractors right now, guarantee they will not exist in a few years' time. They'll all have to professionalize and bring in a back office supporting their operations because there's just so much paperwork and other DD you need to do now, which, I'm not going to go on a rant about over-regulation because, my feelings on that, which is really fucking stupid. And they must be appointed by a principal designer or principal contractor. We are the principal contractor, so we obviously do that, and we sign all of our trades, and then we assign our principal designer, the architects as well. And then there's the building controllers and inspectors, where there's essentially retraining a whole load of everyone within the building control sector, from approved inspectors who are private and then their own building control within the councils as well. There's a whole load of retraining that's going on, which is going to cause delays on the site. And then they're trying to strengthen regulations around the construction products, which now have to be signed off by, I think it's the PCDA or whatever acronym they've come up with for this new body that's going to make sure that products you're using in your project are safe and tested by
central bodies, things like British gypsum for all your dry lining, all your metal frames and things like that, rather than using, say, a trade line who may not have gone through the same rigorous testing. Creates a bit of a monopolistic environment in the suppliers market, which I'm not too keen on. But again, you have to follow this stuff. So new levies and taxes for property developers. I'm not yet sure if that really applies to us. I'm pretty sure it's just on larger schemes. Criminal liability, rather than this just being a corporate matter. So say it's held in a company, then you've got your public indemnity insurance against the company and whatever, and that's going to cover you if there was something that went wrong. Now that's not the same. Even if you're not negligent, I suppose, if you've just done things wrong and you've not followed the Building Safety Act to the letter, you can be criminally liable. It goes up the chain in the company to the officers, directors or managers of that company if things are not done properly. So it's now super, super, super important you have a competent contractor in place. If you don't, you run a massive risk. You run a criminal liable risk. It is bad if things go wrong, if things aren't managed properly. But fundamentally, you just have to use good construction companies. This is their whole reason for doing this, is to get rid of cowboys out of the market. It's to get rid of incompetencies within construction. Everyone knows builders that do things a little bit dodgy, and they're trying to get rid of all of that through adding in things like criminal liability, principal designers, products and protocols and all that sort of stuff to make sure everything we're using in the property and all of our processes and our health and safety is all adhered to, which means more paperwork, more tick boxes, more contracts you need to sign. And it's just going to kill off a lot of small contractors. You have to make sure that criminal liability, just to stress the point, is if you're not following the due process set out by the Building Safety Act, particularly with health and safety and particularly with obviously the construction process itself, and making sure that when it is signed off at the end, it is legal and that your contractor's not taken any dodgy steps. And I've literally seen it a million times where they won't get building control to inspect the steel that's gone in there, or to inspect the chamber that's been moved in the yard, or to inspect this wall that's been put up there and it's a firewall but it's not actually used the right fireboarding, all that sort of stuff. If you're then caught later being non-compliant or something bad happens in that property, it's criminal liability. So you have to make sure that you trust your builder, that they're following due process and that they're acting within the constraints of the Building Safety Act. It is a whole different playing field that they've brought in to the market, and everyone needs to get genned up on this stuff. From principal designers, appointing your designers properly, on the criminal liability standpoint as well, to know how to protect your interests, and then anything building control is now liable with principal designers under the Building Safety Act. So you must go and learn this stuff. Very important, particularly if you're a contractor out there, and if you're using contractors out there, you have to look into this stuff as well to protect your interests.
We're back. Ryan is now cameraman. Just demonstrate how degraded his standard in the company.
Here we are in this one. Coming close to the back end now. So we've taken this one full height, which I think is more interesting. Yeah. Quite like that. It looks nice. There's one piece on the wall. Quite like it. And obviously, the bed's going to go against that as well, so you won't notice the difference there. Nice unit in here as well. Got the wall unit up. Not far from flooring now.
That's my business partner, Ryan.
Hello, mate. You all right? Nice to meet you, man. Hello, sir.
Been demoted today, cameraman.
Cameraman today. Fucking right.
No, but it's good, mate. So how many bedrooms have we closed off now?
Top's all done.
Yeah.
Top's all done. Obviously, that room's done, bathroom's done. We're all getting electric, so wired through and all that, because we had a bit of a earthing problem, so we're just going to chase it up and then get all the security lights done. Then,
brilliant.
But I think the carpets are ordered.
Come next week.
Hopefully.
Brilliant. Well, that's hopefully the key word, isn't it?
I know.
But, well, I mean, we said 3 weeks last week, didn't we? So 2 weeks close out. It's kicking the ass off, isn't it?
Nah, but obviously we've got all the drain stuff ready to go, obviously, for down outside and all that. So that's obviously the old drains are not going to get sorted. But mate, it's cracking on.
Good. I'll have them mince around, pal. As you can see, security lights, as the man said there, security lights all going on. We're pulling that off. Clad back over that. Shutting doors coming down the building now. So putting underlay down everywhere as we need to. It's a couple of way goes there.
Still another banging property though, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
that's a huge room.
It makes a difference. Like the proper Victorian Edwardian houses, when you get the width on them, like they're just big up here.
Built them proper.
I do love these, mate, the full height ones.
Yeah, it gives a proper feature to the room.
It does, yeah.
Proper feature.
Once the bed goes against it, it kind of hides some of it, but it's full length, it is nicer. These are little things we're always trying to work with, innit? Like, what are the little improvements?
Like I said, and them bedsides are nice because they're like V off.
Yeah,
so top and bottom, so it just gives it that extra bit of panache. In here, where we go. Actually, some paint runs to sort out. But yeah, a couple of lads have been here all week. Plumbing's been getting finished off as well. So, not sure about these.
There's a little handle.
Yeah. But soft closers.
Yeah, that's alright. It just looks much better as one piece, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Much better.
So the problem is when you, like that needs rubbing back a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I say, we'll pick all that up next week. Get all the carpets down and in next week. Then we'll go through and pick holes in it all. Like just that neat line of cutting in, bit of tape down that, but it needs rubbing back first. And this woodwork needs rubbing back. But just little bits. There's always going to be little bits. Always is the case.
Another sick loft though, innit? By having the
Oh
lobby.
yeah, unbelievable. Like what we've started to do now on the lofts is where they're designed on plans to meet regulation standards. Is normally we'd go like 4 meters wide, but on all of them now we're just pumping them out 6.5s because the timber spans can go 3.6 anyway on the 8x2s. So it just makes sense to get as much as possible out of the loft. So we'll show you upstairs.
This is the entrance door to this bedroom, and then they've got this lobby here, a bathroom with a window, like super nice big bathroom, and then a huge loft all to themselves. And it means no lobby at the top of the stairs. We're saving more space.
But even where we put the gala brackets in there, like it's just nice.
It's a nice finish, yeah.
Yeah, it's just nice how we've like done the colour around it all.
Yeah, sick.
It just looks the bollocks.
I love this as well, where we hid the Queen's trusses in here, didn't we? That was in
No, we put this up because it was on the plans originally. It was a bit of a cock up, I'll tell you the truth.
I was meant to be a dwarf wall, wasn't it?
No, it was meant to be full height, but we were going to hide the King's Post in it. But what's ended up happening anyway is we've got a bedroom, sort of desk area. Then you've got your living area, so it's a good like visual divider.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a cock up really, but we've made use of it because.
I think it's better though, rather
Well,
than...
the lads, we didn't change the plans, so the lads obviously slapped it up, built it, wired it in, because the telly was always meant to go there, then we get a sofa in here.
Yeah.
And it's nice.
That'd be cool, mate, as a little divider.
Yeah, well, but as you can see, like, it just fucking finishes as the peg and the electrics back. It's just fucking dog shit.
It's worth saying on this one as well, where we used different subby trades and we were trying them out for the first time. They let us down on different occasions, and they were themselves churning through other trades, and that's just caused us issues of
what
program.
we've done is we've went direct to the price lads instead. We've got what we've done.
Because a part of this project fell into the transition from internal lads.
Yes.
So where we had to try new things, and unfortunately a bit of a victim
to hit our scale and volume targets. We're getting the sales, the marketing obviously brings in the sales bring in the work, and the work. So if we're going to do like 70 to 80 over the next 12 months of these HMOs.
Yeah.
And the only way we can achieve that volume, we can't do it with internal lads like who are on a day rate. So you just want specialist trades individually priced. But then on this package, there was like 2 or 3 individuals who could do 2 or 3 trades. But what inadvertently happened is they were drafting and pulling lads in that weren't really fit for purpose, and it's resulted in the job dragging.
Yeah.
But obviously, lessons learned. I've just tapped back into the old network, and I've hit a couple of different sort of pods of lads I knew. Then obviously they know other lads, and I mean, there's a scope there to meet our capacity. We could have 100 lads on one day if we employed everyone. We just don't have enough work to give it all out at the minute.
And these are interesting anecdotes. We have 2 sides of our business, obviously, particularly with what we're filming here. Like, you may think, is it good for us to advertise problems we have in construction, particularly when we use this as marketing content to acquire new investors and investor partners? And you might think, that's probably not the best idea. But actually, we're also trying to do this as a way to educate investors and educate people in the development space of the real difficulties you actually have to deal with, so that it's more, so you can be more sympathetic to contractors, because it's a difficult business. Like, it's fucking difficult business.
That's the thing. It's we always knew where we wanted to be and what we needed to do to make systems better. But you can only have more individuals to get the information you're wanting to see and run the jobs correctly with scale. So like if you are just a dad and a lad crew, it's harder.
Yeah, and,
you know
and those are the problems we've had, innit? Anywhere where we've used dad and lads crews, they just don't have the resources to keep track of programs, stick to budgets, buy their own materials. Like,
I think
it causes a lot of
development
issues.
cycle. Like, we've got the back office where every Friday we'll have meetings with the site management teams for all the contracts managers for the respective sites. We'll do the action plans for the following week, but pre-contract, we've done a build program. We've allocated the trades on our price lad model. So then we've got all the information back. So it's like the hard work's done pre-construction, and Dan and lad crews, while they're working on one job and pricing another at the night time, they don't have that capacity and scope to thoroughly plan a job out.
And to be fair to them, they get screwed. Like, the amount of regulations coming in, like, this sector is getting screwed more and more in terms of bureaucracy, regulations to meet, different thresholds that make it harder to participate without a back office. So, and we're trying to build a system for clients and a way to educate people at the same time of how this sort of stuff works. But we have to have scale to do it. Otherwise, it's not feasible. We can't offer it to clients, and then our clients will only be able to use dad and lad crew.
Yeah, it's the service offering. As we spoke about previously, like, I've visited my dad's site during the week, and there's there's a management team in the office just for individual packages.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
they've got the scale to afford
exactly.
the premiums,
It's a scale of economy, isn't it? Like, that's a 450 unit site. Yeah. So there's like 30 managers on the job. So it's that. So you're taking that into perspective on what we do. I mean, we're a lean outfit. I think our prelims actually cost between 3 and 5%. On any job, they should be costing 10%. So like, we're still a lean outfit for our service offering. We've been able to do that through systems employed and pre-contract procedures or pre-construction phase procedures, which help mitigate on-site management time. So it's all lessons learned, but we'll keep refining, we'll keep getting better. But equally, that being said, we are the best HMO contractor in fucking North East, undoubtedly.
Yeah, there's no one who's doing it the way we are and the way we conduct our service offering to clients. And I'm saying this to any potential clients watching, but also anyone out there who wants to do what we do as a developer contractor. Building a system that benefits the client more than it is yourself starts off very difficult because we've lost money on different jobs, we've lost on time on different jobs. But we've learned very quickly, it's a fail fast approach. We've adapted the systems, leaned out our model, which has taken time and caused some other issues. But now we look at it in waves, don't we? Our first wave of jobs we did, we had like 6 or 7 jobs. All of them were like very average, or we lost a bit of money on them because we were learning. Next wave got better, next wave got better. Now we're in the new wave of this new model and the sites are running almost exactly how we want them. The only difficulty we have is just getting the right trade for the right job and making sure they're really good at what they do. We just need a bit of time for that. But so far, all the trades are performing.
But equally on the first wave, we got up to like 36 internal lads. You know what I mean? All multi-skilled lads. And we put them in pods. Yeah, and a lot of management, like they wouldn't self-organise. The benefit with the price lads is they're used to going, right, that's the square metre of a job, this is what I'm going to need. So
and they want to be prepared each day.
And that's the thing, their incentive, like, they know the price is there to be had to make money, so they self-organise. But internal lads just don't do that. You know what I mean? But equally, that's what we're there for. But keeping that pod of internal lads of 10 to 15 of them, then to have, because they can only run like 2 or 3 sites then, but then because we're getting to 16 to 19 sites at any one time, the rest is price teams. But if one of them price gangs let you down, you grab 3 of your internal lads, you stick them in there for the week, and the programme maintains for the rest of the sequence of the follow-on trades. It's an interesting model, but the benefit about price lads is there is no fluctuation on price. There's nothing like that.
The incentives are aligned with us.
Yeah, well, exactly that. So it's all fixed price. We offer fixed price contract. We know our margin. The only thing that can go wrong if it goes from a 16-week program to a 20-week program, I've got 4 weeks of management time there, which hasn't been allowed for. But equally, due to the volume that we're producing, like other job prelims effectively carry that management and prelim costs through. So obviously it's not ideal and we should be more profitable, but in that instance that is, but equally it's because we've got multiple jobs, it does sort of not affect us as much.
Yeah. And the scale point is so important. Like if you want to do this, anyone out there, if you don't have scale, I just don't know how you can do it. Unless you want to stay as like a very small team, but with a small team, you just can't do things as efficiently and as profitably as you can with a bigger team that spreads your overheads and dilutes your overhead costs.
With a small team, you've got to have multi-skilled lads.
Yeah.
Including
the back officer as well.
Yeah, well, you don't have a back office.
Yeah, well, your back office is you in the night time, isn't it?
Yeah, well, if you've got a 6 to 10 man crew, that maybe at 10 you can afford someone in the back office, but the money, you're either going to price yourself out of jobs because you're going to factor in that person's wage in the back office, and on a 6-man crew where you're running 2 little lean 3-man crews, they're not going to make enough money to pay you a wage and the person in the back office unless you perform that function, and you'll have to be on site managing. So it's very hard. That's why you've got to get up to, I mean, this week we'll have 45 lads on site, but obviously a mixture of price teams and internal lads. Only at them scales of economy can you start having Cat in the back office, me looking after commercial and doing the contract management role. You know what I mean? We've got two managers who will have 6 to 10 jobs on at any one time. It's
the caverns across. Like you're treading over this huge gap, getting from doing 2-3 sites at a time where you still can't afford to have the back office, but all your time is zapped. So where can you then get new work in and the marketing and the sales? But the benefit of our group business is our sales are isolated, and those sales can help forward invest into the construction business to help get it where it needs to be, to that critical mass of 10 to 15 sites. And now we're starting to see the benefits of a more lubricated system, innit?
Well, that's it. Well, I mean, we've got 16 sites on now, which will get up to, well, 2 are finishing, but 2 are starting. So we'll maintain at that 16. Each one of them is the healthy sites anywhere. Anything will be billed from sort of 6 to 10 grand at any given week. So you know what I mean? From a turnover perspective, we're on anywhere from 100 to 160 grand week on week. It's a great rate, and our run rate's like significantly less than that at the minute. So.
And then we've got bigger sites. We've got about 6 6 or I think 7 now big sites ready to drop in. We just need to, we'd be slightly careful of the market. The market's been crazy the last few years and we wanted to be careful getting into the bigger sites. Now we've got this fluid, stepping into the bigger sites allows us to afford the prelims of dedicated site managers and obviously better cash flow coming in as well. So there's a new dynamic that's going to change.
Fucking no cash flow because there is sites, so there's no fucking margins.
They are my sites. But it'll teach us new ways to operate, right? Where we're doing a blend of bigger sites.
The reality is the management procedures and operations what we've implemented at this scale. Because what you've got to imagine is we're running this like an house building site now. Even though they're not in a consecutive line of one terrace.
Still different plots.
Yeah, we treat them as plots. But until when the structural and the external fabric of the building, it's a fit out after that. But equally, with the price teams, it's exactly the same process. The fit out process is the same no matter what the size of the fucking building. Then all you need to do on your programme is, right, you're expecting this much out of a lad. How many lads do we need on site at that one time of that one trade to maintain a 2-week slot for that single trade in that area? That makes sense. You reverse engineer the programme to tell you how many lads you're going to need to fulfill the pipeline. So yeah, it's the same process. It's just obviously there's more risk attached because if all trades end up costing you 10% more, you're fucked. So, but equally, that's why we fix price. We pay a price rate. Limits our liability internally. Again, as I said, the only thing that's liable for us, obviously because we're a developer as well. If we overrun, it's not just the prelim costs we're carrying the lending costs. That's why we always say like overreg it 6 months, know your figures, and then you're securing the fact. So.
But there's a couple insights, hopefully useful to anyone watching. Like we're trying to be, with this content, we're trying to be useful for obviously our investors to give them a transparent insight into what we're doing and problems that we incur all the time. It's construction, it is just nuanced and a fucking ball ache. And more regulations coming in do make it more difficult, but ultimately it outcompetes others in the market, which is kind of also good for us if we can.
If you're good, you stay.
Yeah,
so,
and then equally for anyone else out there trying to do this or trying to be a contractor or you are already a contractor, it works both ways. Do you also have advice for us? Let us know in the comments, reach out to us. People like Stu.
I'm the best. So.
He is the best.
Dorian, it doesn't matter how many hundreds of houses you're building.
But we're open to feedback. Anyone who's got good constructive criticism, give it to us because we want to keep learning and getting better at what we do. But yeah, anyway, that's us done here.
Building towers in 5 years.
Building towers in 5 years, baby. In Newcastle City Centre, let's fucking go. So like I said, guys, thank you for watching this episode. And we are just about to start shooting with the BBC for Homes Under the Hammer. So tune in next week where you may see the behind the scenes of that. Thank you, subscribe.
Like I love you.